Hi, Matthew Sweigart here again from HeartMind Bodywork, bringing you the HeartMind Meridian Education Series, Volume 2. Yesterday we studied the lung channel, and you'll recall we found this point here right outside the second rib, the central treasury, the center of gathering, point 1 on the lung meridian. And we followed that meridian up over the deltoid, down along the bicep, down to the elbow crease, and you'll remember in the groove, lung number 5, and we followed it down along the hair line, along the color change line to the wrist crease right there. Great stagnation, great abyss, lung 9, and then we went to fish belly and out here to lung 11. A couple things I wanted to add. This lung 11 point is great for sore throat. If you've got an acute sore throat, press on this point. The promise is that will bring you some relief to that scratchy sore throat. One other point I wanted to bring to you was lung number 2. So lung 1 is right here, and lung number 2 is just underneath your clavicle bone. So you got to go find the clavicle. There it is. And underneath that bone, you'll see how my finger goes in there. That's lung number 2. That's called the cloud gate. And it has a lot to do with assisting with the proper moisturizing of the lungs. We want good, moist lungs to perform that task that the lung have to do with bringing the air in and out of our body, bringing it in, moisturizing that air, and bringing it in a good, solid way. From there, over the deltoid, down along the bicep. 2 points here in the bicep I did not talk about yesterday. These are really good for lactation. Then notice that they're right at the level of the nipple, right here on the arm. So any lactation difficulties or any digestive disorder difficulties for that matter as well could be addressed through these points. Anything that has to do with bringing in and giving out, bringing in and giving out. That's the lung function, right? We bring it in, bring in the nutrition, let go of the waste, right? So I want to go on from lung today and look at the pericardium channel next. Pericardium is the next channel down the arm, and it actually starts just outside the nipple. Now, what is the pericardium? Pericardium is the muscle of the heart. It's here to protect the heart from all those buffets and blows of life. And there are many of them, as we know. All you have to do is pick up the morning paper or watch the evening news. And your heart, if your heart had to take that all on, you got to have a layer of protection. And that comes through the pericardium channel. That's the function that we're activating here, our ability to protect ourselves. Heaven's Pond, pericardium 1, again used for lactation in nursing moms, also for improving circulation in general. Coming over the pectoralis, and it comes right down the center, right through the split of the bicep. We talked about that yesterday. Right through the split of the bicep. It's got a point also right in the elbow crease. That's going to be right in the center of the elbow crease. Lung 5 is over here on the edge. Right in the center is pericardium. And then we're going to follow right down the forearm, right down the middle of the forearm here, between the bones of the forearm, the ulna and the radius. We're going to find a very important point right here, pericardium 6, known as the inner gate. And this inner gate is the pathway we use for introspection, coming more deeply into ourselves, more into connection with our true self inside. When we're in connection with our true self, we're actually protecting our heart. If you go out in the world and you have to live in pretense or put on a face or put in a lie, you know, that's not really the best protection there is, but it's also part of pericardium function. How do you protect your heart? And the best way to do that is to know yourself. You know, Polonius told that to Hamlet, "To thine own self be true." Pericardium 6, the inner gate. Come over the wrist crease and into the center of the palm. Pericardium number 8, and this is called the palace of anxiety, or the palace of toil. So toiling, anxious toil, can be relieved through proper stimulation of the palace of anxiety. You ever notice when you're anxious, you might sometimes rub your palms? You might know someone who does. That's a very common experience that teaches us about the usefulness of this point. This will calm stage fright, calm nervous anxiety of any kind. From the palace of anxiety, the palace of toil, we're going to continue right up the middle finger of the hand, right up to the pad of the middle finger. This is the longest finger on the hand, the strongest finger on the hand, and we use it a lot in acupressure work. Very precise, very powerful point. This point is called the central hub, or the great nexus. And that is the entire channel. Pericardium starting right here outside the nipple, coming over the pectoralis, down the center of the bicep, through the elbow crease, down along the forearm to the inner gate, over the wrist crease to the palace of toil, and up the middle finger to the central nexus, the great hub. Very powerful point. So use your pericardium energies, stretch them out. When we stretch open our pericardium, the chest comes forward, the arms go out to the side, and we see the limitations of my home video, but you can see the pericardium vessel right there in the hand, right out to the middle of the palm of the hand and out through the middle finger. This is the pericardium. This is how we open it up. And this channel is very vital for providing self-protection, warmth, circulation, keeping us healthy and strong in a complex environment. So open up your pericardium channel today. Go through the inner gate. Really love yourself. To thine own self be true. And then create warmth and connection and protection in all your relations. I hope you've enjoyed this video presentation today. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.